But
No,
the
I
other
can
thing
understand
that was so important to me was Beatle Bootlegs.
Oh, okay.
The first Beatle bootleg that came to Greenfield was a thing called Comeback, Kumback. It was outtakes from Let It Be, a little bit from Abbey Road, but mostly from Let It Be. I think it was maybe all Let It Be. And I had firmly believed, and I still can fall into this. I had believed that the Beatles would get the idea for Sgt. Pepper's in their head. They would talk about it, and they would get clearly what they wanted it to sound like. Every kazoo, every violin part, every vocal. They would get that clear in their head, then they would go into the studio with George Martin, and they would say, this is what has to be. We have to get this kind of crowd sound to start Sgt. Pepper's. Then we want an orchestra tuning up. And then we'll first have a kind of fuzz guitar come in, and then on beat 3, we'll have the drums come in.
Okay.
And they would lay that out, and they would then do it. And I would just go, this is the most perfect thing ever. And that was every record, Blonde on Blonde, Freak Out. I just believe that. And then Beatle Bootleg.
Okay.
$10 at Gribbon's Music Store. I go and I buy Comeback. When I find rebel, Mother Mary comes to me. Spill my bone, let it be. Holy fuck! You mean you can work on this shit? You mean you don't, and then John singing the wrong lines?
Yeah.
What? What's he doing? And then George doing a completely inappropriate solo?
So that was
Paul singing it. I was like, oh, you get to try this stuff.
So that it didn't heartbreak you. It opened up a whole new word.
Totally inspired me. I mean, I want to say in this, please forgive me for this, but I kind of said, I can do this.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not telling you I can do Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah.
But I can work in the arts.
Yeah. Okay. So that showed you it was accessible.
And I still
That's
go
really
crazy
important.
over this when, the new Blood on the Tracks, Bob Dylan bootleg came out with every single version of it. And I am fascinated by, this is all ties into one of my least favorite words, which is the word genius, which is another word for lazy. Someone that uses the word genius is someone who's lazy.
Yeah.
Because they want to say, oh, this guy can just do this.
Yeah.
And there's no guy who can just do this.
Yeah.
And, there was always this myth that was Bob Dylan did Blood on the Tracks. He was having fights with Sarah. They were going to get a divorce. He went to the studio. He poured his heart out. He wasn't quite happy with that. He added a band. Blood on the Tracks came out. It was just pure from his heart, just poured out. Then there were rumors that there was a notebook where Dylan took little notes and worked on it. And everybody heard about the notebook. Now he's given his archives to that new museum. There were 3 notebooks in tiny, tiny writing. Both sides of the page. Every single song on the album, every single word changed. Crossed out, added in, crossed out. They finally interviewed Bob Dylan and said, well, so this was just about your marriage break. He goes, I was reading Chekhov. And I was interested in whether short stories could be told out of time. And I was also studying painting, and the perspective idea of how that changes over time interested me. And I wanted to put that down in the words, and that's why I'm changing these things here and there. But weren't things terrible with Sarah? Yes. They were. But I was also working on a record.
Yeah, exactly.